So my name is Lorene Harcourt and I'm the Executive Director of the Grande Prairie District SPCA. I have been here a year and a half and I see wonderful relationships being formed with the community, especially our youth. I like to look at our shelter not as just a shelter that takes care of the animals, the puppies and the kitties, so to say. I see us as having far-reaching benefits in the sense that we can work with school programs. Children that have difficulty reading, for example, benefit from being able to read to a dog. Children can come here and they can learn how to take care of animals, how to be responsible pet owners, and I really believe that if you start with the children young, then we'll have animals that are taking care of their animals in the proper way. We'll have a caring society if we educate our children. I also believe that we play a part in working with kids and adults in the justice system, as it's not new that people in the justice system that are connected with animals, the rate of recidivism, and especially for youth, goes down tenfold. So shelters can definitely, play a role in that sense in getting connected and running programs for those folks. We have one of the schools, alternative schools, that actually comes here quite often to volunteer, and their children benefit. The one thing that it gives them in working with animals is animals don't judge you as say as somebody else may. So they're comfortable, it builds self-confidence, self-esteem. It's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation for the animals, it's win-win for the kids. We're always struggling for funds. I mean, that's no secret. There is no government funding, no provincial, no municipal funding. So we totally depend on the community. And with that said, there's always a shortfall, and we couldn't survive without the volunteers. The animals couldn't survive without the volunteers, because they do all the extra stuff that we certainly don't have the money to pay people to do. Coming in and walking those dogs, keeping them healthy in the kennels. I really want the shelter to be a place that homes animals, that doesn't just houses animals. Warehousing is where animals are not taken care of, or they may be fed and watered, but their emotional needs aren't met. With homing animals, their emotional needs are met, as well as the psychological part is taken care of, as well as the feeding and veterinarian care. So it's really looking at it with the holistic approach, the same as you would for people. My biggest goal at this time is to have a veterinarian on staff, but before we can do that, we need to have a surgical suite built. So my hopes are that within the year we can at least have a surgical suite built and hire a veterinarian, and then from there I would like to expand and have more space available for public education. I really see us as being the training center of the North. We have some very capable people on staff presently that are really eager to train other shelters, to train the public and share their skills. So as we are, I believe, the biggest shelter in the North, I see this as a very viable role, and a role that again benefits the community. When I say education, to a place that health techs, registered animal health techs can come here to do the practicums. Other professions as well can come here and do the practicums. Veterinarians, there's a lot of vets that are coming in from out of the country. If we had a surgical suite, they could definitely be coming here to learn about domestic animals, because a lot of the veterinarians that come in from other countries don't have the experience with dogs and cats. It's more chickens and sheep and all that kind of stuff. We have focused very much on staff development and training some of our exceptional staff from within, with the help of some government subsidies that were put out there to help employees, not the employer but the employees. And because of that, we were able to get some of our staff some very specific training to the field of animal care. Shelters are a bit different than having your animal at home and caring for them. 100% of the funds that are donated go to the animals. Very little goes for administration. We tend to use recycled items. We don't spend money on fancy office furniture.
Most of your articles in here is donated.
Absolutely. Even our work, we have a fellow upstairs building another office for us. That's donated work. We have Habitat for Humanity to thank for helping us with materials, and some of the local hardware stores that provided the material. So, like I said, everything is even office supplies are donated. Volunteers are capable of doing anything. I don't think that volunteers can only walk dogs, because, I mean, heaven knows we have so many jobs in here that a volunteer can fulfill, from helping at the front desk, from grooming an animal, to walking dogs, to helping with the kids' camp, to selling tickets for us. I have an elderly lady who builds quilts out of leftover materials for our animals to lay on.
Cat beds.
Yeah, cat beds, dog beds, and she has no problem with us selling them. So if you can give me an item to raffle, for example, we have a diamond ring raffle right now, and that is a 2-carat diamond ring, which was donated by a very generous anonymous donor. And if we can sell the 2,500 tickets, that's a $50,000 profit for the shelter, which will go a very long ways. So even donating an item like that, we'd be happy to recognize you. If you don't want to be recognized, we will respect that. And what do they like to do? What would they like to do? Because volunteering has to be fun. And if you're doing something that is totally not of interest, or something that you're afraid to do, that's not going to be fun, and we're going to lose you. So I really like to find out what people like to do or want to do.
So you're saying that you definitely value.
Oh, absolutely. Volunteers can pretty much pick their job in here. If they want to pick up poop for us, we'll let them. If they want to help us, with the paperwork at the front and do data entry, that's fine. I'm hoping our website's been a little bit more up to date, and we can thank a volunteer for that. We have a volunteer that takes the pictures of all our animals, painting upstairs, even outside gardening. Building us things, you name it. There's a job out there for everybody. Just tell me what you like to do, and I'll probably let you come here and do it.
The best part of being the president of an organization like Grande Prairie District SPCA is knowing that the animals we take in and care for, cats or dogs, hamsters or birds, we care for them all until their loving, forever homes are found. I am aware of the idea and image a shelter provides to some people, but our hopes with this video is to shine some light on our SPCA and all the positive things happening here. We want to encourage the public to come visit us, cuddle up with the animals, meet their next family member. We also offer children's education programs like pet safety, responsible pet ownership, and we have birthday parties, programs, and summer camps. We are looking forward to being a training facility for Northern Alberta too. We have begun to offer animal first aid and will soon have canine behavior classes. We definitely have something for everyone, 2- or 4-legged. In the 8 years I've been involved with the SPCA, I have never seen the level of commitment to adopting out all of our companion animals as I see now. Examples of this are adoption specials such as Black Friday, where a person who adopts a black dog or cat receives a discount on their adoption fee, or entering to win your chance to receive back your adoption fee. The SPCA is always thinking of clever ways to get adopters through the door. These promotions not only interest people in adopting a pet, but also to volunteer and become more involved with the organization. This type of marketing and the SPCA's continued mission to save and rehome as many companion animals as possible makes me proud to be president.
Our SPCA really is always improving. We've come a long way from where we were. Even a few years ago, our euthanasia rates have dropped dramatically. And a lot of this has to do with being able to ensure that our pets want to be adopted by people. And a big part of this is that we now have an animal, a dog behaviorist on staff. And so she's ensuring their psychological well-being in addition to their physical well-being.
Well, we're starting to do a program with training the dogs called Open Paw. And Open Paw is 4 different levels. The first level is just feeding the dogs for coming to the front of the kennels. So we want them to learn to approach people when people come into the kennel space. And then the second level is feeding them for offering something friendly. So sitting, looking cute, squishing up against the door, putting their paw gently on the wires, anything that kind of sells themselves. And then from there we go into obedience training. So we start working on just basic obedience. And the 4th level is loose leash walking. So the dogs that have been here the longest are going to get the most work. It goes all the way up. But we immediately start helping the dogs feel safe about people coming into the pods and people visiting with them, and to come to the front of the kennels and be friendly when people come in. When you go around and you feed the dogs in the front of the kennels, they also get quiet when people go into the rooms. So they don't bark and lose their minds whenever you walk in, because they're expecting you to go around and look at them and feed them.
The SPCA volunteers are so valuable to our organization. They take care of things that are extremely important to the well-being of our animals, but that we simply don't have the manpower, or in this case woman power, to provide. They're constantly out walking our dogs. Some people might not realize the importance of walking a dog, especially a dog in a shelter-type facility, but they need it for their mental well-being as well as their physical. Spending every hour of every day in a small kennel is not a way to live for humans or, pardon me, or animals alike. So the volunteers are really the ones who ensure that all dogs, and some days it's 50 dogs back there, are walked on a daily basis, that all our cats are cuddled and socialized, because again, as with the dogs, the cats are in small kennels and much smaller kennels than the dogs. Sometimes they're in the kennels that are piled up. They're stainless steel, and they just don't have the room to move around and to act like cats. So if they're here for an extended period of time, that can really wear them down. It can really psychologically be damaging. So the volunteers take them out, they groom them, they play with them, and they provide them with that human contact that companion animals crave.
So with the cats, I've noticed there's quite a few rooms back there for the cats to kind of play.
That's right. That's right. And the volunteers will take the cats that are currently being kennelled into those rooms and play with them before they go back. They are kept segregated for a reason, be it that they're not spayed or neutered yet, or if they're not well socialized with other cats for their own safety. Additionally, many of the volunteers are excellent groomers as well. Some of them, I know one lady in particular does have a professional business, and she's just excellent at giving that extra attention that animals need. And of course, for our special events, we couldn't pull them off without our volunteers. They sell tickets for us, they man tables, you know, they're responsible for setting things up and for running the show, really. And our board of directors are volunteers as well, and they devote a lot of time to running this place and to ensuring that the SPCA is doing all it can for its community and its community's animals.